Was there ever any actors or projects that you came across and that kind of inspired you in a way?
I mean, this is gonna sound like a plant, but the truth is, like, one of the first things that I remember having a massive impact on me as a kid was watching Lynda Carter's Wonder Woman. Like, I remember putting on my Wonder Woman underoos and like running around the backyard and like imagining Wonder Woman, playing Wonder Woman, and my mother being like, "That's underwear. Get in the house."
And it's just amazing to hear that from watching the Linda Carter woman, Wonder Woman, as a child, and then getting to play Wonder Woman. And so you were quite familiar with the Wonder Woman character, the franchise as a whole. But was there any part of Linda Carter's Wonder Woman that you wanted to really bring to your iteration when the time came, or did you want it to be very much your own spin on it?
So here's the thing about me and Wonder Woman. I feel like some of those characters have like a sound and a tone and a thing, right? And with Wonder Woman, I think part of it is because I was so young that it left me with a feeling more than a fact. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't going to be able to sit there and list all the different things about Wonder Woman, but I knew what she meant to me. I knew how it made me feel, right? And over the course of years, I'd read Wonder Woman comics and other comics, um, and I knew what it felt like to have something that was that meaningful. When the audition came in for the show, they actually sent me 3 roles on the same day, and I was so paralyzed by the idea of reading for my hero that I read the other 2 first. I was like, well, I mean, I have great ideas for these characters, and I would like to say I did a great job. But I was so nervous about Wonder Woman that I had to make it wait. And I sat there and I was like, what does Wonder Woman sound like? What does she sound like? I know what Batman sounds like. I know what Superman sounds like. Like, there's a sound, right? I know what a witch sounds like. And I had a moment, and I know I've said this in interviews before, but it was a really profound experience for me, and I will live off of it for the rest of my career. I had a moment where I sat there, and it still moves me to think of it every time. I sat there and I said, what does she sound like? I don't know, but I know how she makes me feel. So, what she's going to sound like is what I sound like when I feel like Wonder Woman. And that's what I did because I didn't know what else to do. And that day, the people making that show wanted that version. And I am so gifted that they chose me, that day, that thing was what worked for all of us together, because there are some extraordinary women who are doing it right now and who've done it before me and will do it again, and everybody brings their own thing. And the thing that was so funny, you guys, is the number of times on the show that they'd be like, well, we love your thing, so bring your thing. And I was like, what's my thing? Because I didn't know what it was. I just did what made sense to me. I wasn't making like some conscious choice to do it a certain way that was different from anybody else or the same as something. I just did what made sense to me. And that's what worked for this particular group and this particular show. I think part of it for that show was, and I got some grief for this. I was always, I loved Wonder Woman's strength and power. I loved that when I was a kid, there weren't other female superheroes. There weren't. So I loved that she was strong. And as an adult, I can look back and I can see the peace and the patience and the love that came with that strength. But as a kid, what animated me was she is strong. She is powerful. And she's not afraid to be powerful because she owns her strength. And so I think that's part of what I brought to it. Um, and there were some people who were like, yes, but she's always fill in the blank, whatever you feel about her, which is totally legitimate. And I was like, yeah, but I like her strength. I like her power.